Let's turn our attention to the Philippines, where a court has acquitted journalist Maria Ressa and her online news outlet Rappler of tax evasion charges. Ressa was joint winner of the Nobel Peace Prize 2 years ago, but her globally recognized reporting on her nation's violent anti-drug campaign made her an enemy of former President Rodrigo Duterte.
It's not the end of the war for Nobel Prize winner Maria Ressa, but she has won a significant battle. Speaking outside court, she struggled to hold back tears.
But today, facts win. Truth wins. Justice wins. Medyo emotional nga lang po.
Ressa co-founded the online news site Rappler and used it to expose Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte's alleged abuse of power and growing authoritarianism. Duterte tried to discredit Rappler. Ressa says he weaponized the Philippines judicial system against her and her associates. The 59-year-old has been battling a series of cases filed due to her vocal criticism of the former president.
These charges, as you know, were politically motivated. They were incredible to us. A brazen abuse of power and meant to stop journalists from doing their jobs.
She still faces 3 other criminal cases, including a cyber libel conviction currently on appeal, for which she could be sentenced to nearly 7 years in prison.
And we're joined now from Manila by Maria Ressa. Ms. Ressa, thank you for taking the time to speak to us on DW. First of all, congratulations. You have been facing these charges for 4 years. So how do you feel after the acquittal?
Oh, my Lord. I mean, 4 years and 2 months, it's, I had hoped this would be what it is. It would have taken a stretch of imagination to have made it a conviction, but there was a lot at stake, not just for Rappler and the Philippines, but in terms of what this meant for our development, for rule of law, for press freedom. How do I feel? Like the sun is coming.
But we know, unfortunately, you're not completely out of the woods yet. You are still facing a number of other charges that could possibly lead to long prison terms if you are convicted. Do you expect to be acquitted on these charges too?
There were 7 criminal charges that I was facing when the Marcos administration came in. They were all initiated under the Duterte administration. In less than 2 years, I posted bail 10 times, right? 10 arrest warrants. Of course, this is the very first time since 2016 that we actually won a case on, as you can read the decision, pretty ludicrous charges. Does this mean it's the end of it? Not yet. But it is a really good beginning for us. We hope that with these 4 tax evasion charges thrown out, there's a 5th one that's related to it. We'll hope to get a similar verdict in that one. And then cyber libel has moved the fastest. It's at the Supreme Court now. Again, I hope for the best.
Well, in the past, you've said that the Philippines' legal system has been weaponized against you. And at the same time, you've also criticized the role that's played by social media in trying to demonize you. Can you explain what you mean by that?
I think this works hand in hand. What we saw beginning in 2016 was the weaponization of social media. It's almost like fertilizer that's put in place before the attacks come top down. So the lies come at you bottom up on social media. In our case, journalist equals criminal. You say that lie a million times, it becomes a fact. And here's the other part on social media. We already know from 2018 studies that lies spread at least 6 times faster on social media than these really boring facts that journalists give. So this is kind of the fertilizer on the ground. A year of that, then a year later, top down from President Duterte himself, who repeated the meta-narrative, journalist equals criminal. A week later, we received our first subpoena. By 2018, we got a shutdown order, and then it went. 14 investigations that year. By 2019, 10 arrest warrants in less than 2 years. And here we are today. We're still fighting. We're still doing our jobs.
Gosh, 10 arrest warrants in 2 years. All of this must take a real physical and also emotional toll on you. How are you coping?
Embrace your fear. This is a phrase I wound up using a lot. It's something I explained in my book, How to Stand Up to a Dictator. Look, I think when the government uses the law against journalists as a way to stop journalism, they hang a Damocles sword over the news organization. And our goal always was to make sure that we continue doing our jobs like that wasn't there. And, during the Duterte administration, starting in 2016, it almost felt like they were using a bulldozer to try to stop us from carrying out our jobs. Here, this is the line that's defined by our Constitution. We linked arms. And the phrase we kept using is hold the line, right? We were not going to voluntarily give up our rights. And it was something I used to say to Filipino citizens. If you are being harassed, intimidated, hold tight, hold the line.
Journalist Maria Ressa joining us from Manila. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.